Welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm Casey Carroll, and I'm excited to be in this class with you today. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on where you are and when you're listening to this or watching this. I am in Los Angeles on a beautiful morning, and I'm excited to be here with all of you. So, to get started, let's find a good seat. You don't want to be so far back in your chair that you're leaning against the back of the chair. You don't want to be so far forward that you're leaning forward. So just right in the middle of your chair, and you'll find that your back naturally straightens and your spine lengthens. You want to stack your hips, your heart, and your head. Chin can be tucked just a little bit. And then make two fists with your hands if you'd like to, and I'll show you the width you want your legs apart. And just put those in between your knees. Ankles are directly below your knees. Hands can be on the thighs, palms facing down or up, whatever works for you. And if you'd like to close your eyes, I invite you to do that now, or maybe soften your gaze, looking down towards your nose. And just begin by noticing your natural breath. Maybe noticing any tension that's in your body and releasing that with every exhale. And then remembering that long, tall spine while we do this. I know mine just bent a little bit, so maybe I'm not the only one. In yoga class, we're often trying to focus on a lot of things at the same time. And we might get into one posture and then something slips. We might get into this posture and we stop breathing. And that's all okay. It's a lot to take in, to be in your body, to be focused with the mind, and to be calm and present. And that's the practice. This practice leads to connecting with ourselves on a lot of different levels so that when we're off the chair, we can carry it with us. And now I'd like you to set an intention if you want to. Maybe something's coming right up to mind, or maybe nothing yet, and that's fine. Maybe your intention is to be present, to just be here. And if you'd like to, you can go ahead and open your eyes if they were closed. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, coming back to the room. And we'll begin by connecting our breath with our movement. And what we'll do is we'll inhale our arms up and exhale down. Join me if you'd like to. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now do a couple on your own. The next time your arms are up, stay there and slightly bend over to the left, stretching that side body. If you'd like to, your left hand can come down to the chair to hold on to. Maybe then you can bend over even more. On your next exhale, can you bend just a little more? And then what would happen if you looked up to the right under your arm? One more breath here. Both arms can come back up and we'll go over to the right. So right arm down, go ahead and hold on to the chair for this side. Long, tall spine up and bending over. Remembering to breathe. Looking up to your left if you'd like to. Making sure that right shoulder is down and relaxed. One more breath here. And now on your next exhale, can you bend over just a little more? Your left hip is probably coming off the chair, so maybe ground that down into the chair. When you're ready, both arms can come up and then exhale down. Let's go ahead and warm up the wrists. So you can have your hands down here, or you can have your arms straight out in front of you, just making some wrist circles. Remembering to breathe. And now the opposite direction. You might be hearing cracks and pops like I am. And then when you're ready, we'll go on to warming up the neck. So long, tall spine, chin is tucked just a little bit. Go ahead and start by tucking the chin all the way down to the chest and then rolling the neck to the right, all the way around. And when you're ready, you can switch directions. Remembering to breathe. And when that feels complete, we can move on to the shoulders. So first, go ahead and squeeze your shoulders all the way up to your ears and then release them all the way down. And do that a couple times on your own. And on your next time up, go ahead and go up, back, and down, and all the way forward into shoulder rolls. Remembering to have that long, tall spine. Rooting down through your feet. Switch directions when you're ready. Couple more breaths here. And when that feels complete for you, we're going to go ahead and move to cat-cow. And you can stay seated forward, but I'm going to move to the side of my chair so you can see my movement. So I have my spine long and tall. There's a string coming up through my crown, lifting me. My chin is tucked just a little bit. For cow, I'm going to lift my chin and chest to the sky. For cat, I'm going to arch my back over chin to chest. And then I'm going to go up with my chin and chest for cow and down chin to chest, belly into the spine for cat. And let's do that together and let's link those movements with our breath. So we'll start with cow. So go ahead and exhale. And then inhale, lifting your chest and chin to the sky. Exhaling, curving your back over chin to chest. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Two more on your own. And when you're ready, come back to center. So we're going to come to stand and we're going to do a forward fold. There are a couple options here. So if you're someone who needs to make sure your head stays above your heart, you might have your chair turned like this. Hands are here, folding like this. If you're someone where it doesn't matter how low you go, you might have your chair facing sideways and your hands might be here. So I'm going to demonstrate from here. So go ahead and stand facing your chair. Root down into both feet, all four corners of your feet. Tuck the tailbone, long, tall spine. Hips, heart, and head are stacked. Chin is slightly dropped. Arms are by your side. Take a breath here. This is Tadasana, or mountain posture. When you're ready, go ahead and bring your hands to your hips and then hinge forward with a flat back. When you start to feel the sensation in your legs, go ahead and bring your hands to the chair. You might have a flat back here. Take a breath. If this sensation is enough for you right now in the backs of the legs, then stay here. You might even pedal your legs, bending, straightening, any movement you want to. If you'd like to go a little further into this sensation, you can slowly begin to bend your elbows. I'm going to come all the way to my chair, but just go down to as much as comfortable to you. And you'll know your edge when your breathing slows down or you start holding your breath. And that's okay. Just come back out of it and then maybe go back in. Movement's okay. You can be coming up and down. We're just really getting into the sensations, into feeling the body. Breathing, breathing here. One more breath. And now go ahead and come back up to this flat back. And we'll move into downward dog. And all we're going to do is we're going to take one step back and then actually come back towards your heels. If you want, you can be going backwards and forwards. You don't have to be static here. And I'm noticing on my chair, the bar here is getting in my way. So I'm going to move my right hand to the other side of the bar. You do what you need to do for you. Knees can be slightly bent, legs can be straight, whatever feels comfortable to you. Breathing here. Gaze can be at the feet, shoulders are away from the ears. Belly is relaxed. We're rooted down through all four corners of the feet and hands. One more breath. And now come back up to this flat back posture. Take one step forward where we were, and we're going to come up to stand. So if you want, you can bring your hands to your hips and just rise up. And you might feel that in the backs of the legs. Feel free to shake it out, any movement that feels good to you. And now we'll go into tree posture. And tree is great for balance, concentration, focus, also calming the mind and the body. So I'll demonstrate first. I'm going to have my chair right here. I'm going to be in Tadasana. Going to have a long, tall spine. String is coming out from the crown of my head. Tailbone's tucked. Hips, heart, and head are all in a line. I have a slight bend in my knees. I'm rooting down through both feet. And when I'm ready, I'm going to put all of my weight into my right foot, my standing foot. And then I'm going to do a few different, one of a few different options. I'm either going to kickstand my left foot onto my ankle. I'm going to have my left foot on my calf, or I'm going to have it all the way up on my thigh. And you're going to pick the option that works best for you today. And you might find that you take this class again and again, and every class it's different. And that's okay. And then I'll show you hand motions options when we get into it together. So that's an example of tree. So let's do that together. So you're in Tadasana, tailbone is tucked, long, tall spine, shoulders up, back, and down. Root through that right leg. And now take your left foot and put it at whatever option worked best for you. For me, it's going to be my calf today. And then hand options are to have one hand on the chair, one hand on the hip, maybe both hands on the hip if you wanted to. Maybe they're at heart center. Maybe they're up towards the sky. Find something in front of you to focus on that's not moving and just breathe. Two more breaths here. And now come down when you're ready. And we'll go to the other side now. So we're standing in Tadasana. Long, tall spine, shoulders up, back, and down. Now we're going to root through the left foot. Knee can be slightly bent. And then find whatever option you want on this side for your foot. I'm going to choose calf for this one as well. Hands can be on the hips. One can be on the chair. Both hands can be on the hips. Be at heart center or up to the sky. Really focusing on that point in front of you. And if your tree is wobbly today, like mine is starting to be, then that's okay too. Each class will be different. Two more breaths here. And when you're ready, you can come down. And we'll come back to a seat. And we'll do a seated twist. So come back to your foundation posture. Got your fists in between your knees. Knees are stacked over your ankles. Long, tall spine, shoulders up, back, and down. And let's just take 1 second here. Maybe dropping the chin just a little bit. And noticing your breath. And maybe bringing back your intention if you set one at the beginning of class. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring your right foot to the center. Cross your left leg over your right. You can hold on to the chair with your left hand. Inhale your right arm up and outside of the left thigh with that long, tall spine. you'll begin to twist to your left. Remembering to breathe here. And this is a posture you can do off the chair too when you're, in life. Twists are great for digestion, whether it's something going on in your life, whether it's physical digestion, whether it's emotional. On your next exhale, see if you can twist a little further. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center and do it on the other side. So come back to your foundation stance and then move your left foot to the center, crossing your right leg over your left, holding on to the chair if that's comfortable to you with your right hand, and inhaling your left arm up to the sky, placing it outside of your right thigh. Long, tall spine, chin tucked just a little bit, twisting to your right. Also in twists, thoughts can come up, maybe emotions, and I always just encourage people to welcome them, maybe be curious about them. No answers need to be found now, nothing needs to be solved, and then see them on their way. And on your next exhale, see if you can twist just a little further. And when you're ready, we'll come back to center. And we're going to do pigeon posture now. So you'll take your left ankle on top of your right knee. You can have one hand on your ankle, one hand on your knee. And we're going to begin by hinging forward with a flat back. And so I'll show you from the side. So I'm not coming over like this, coming over with a flat back. And right here, I already feel the sensation and my breath is starting to slow down, or I'm holding it. So I'm just going to stay here for a minute. And then when I'm ready, maybe I'm going to hinge forward a little more. We're going to slowly get into this stretch. So when you're ready, nice inhale, and just slowly hinge forward. As you feel that stretch, really deepen your breath. Breathe into it. Maybe come out of it and back in. Maybe you went a little further that time. And if you even want to rock back and forth, just coming into the sensation and out, you can. You don't have to. And when you're ready, we can go ahead and just fold over now. All the way over, whatever is comfortable for you. Breathing here. One more breath. And we'll come back up and do the other side. Before we move to the other side, maybe you want to shake out that leg. So take your right ankle and put that on your left knee. You've got your hand on your ankle and your knee. And again, flat back over, just getting into the sensation. I do not have to go far, especially on this side. You might be noticing that one side is a little more mobile than the other. breathing here. Maybe you come out and back in. Just playing with that sensation. Maybe when you come back in, it's a little further. One more breath here. And if you want to, you can just release and bend all the way over as far as is comfortable to you. Two more breaths here. And now we'll come back up to center. And if you'd like to, you can bring your left knee up towards your chest and hug it in. Squeezing that, really getting into the hip. Always only to your comfort level. If you'd like to, you can make circles with your knee. You can even bring it out to the side. If you're like me, you're now hunched over, so remember that long, tall spine. Maybe hug it in one more time. And you can come down when you're ready. And we'll take the right knee into the chest, hugging it in. It's not often we get to hug ourselves. I love that yoga provides moments to do that. Maybe you're making circles. And if you do, just make sure you do the opposite direction. And the knee can come out if you'd like to. And back to our foundation. We're going to end our practice in Shavasana, or resting posture. If you'd like to for this, you can scoot all the way back in your chair and rest your back on the chair. Knees are stacked over the ankles. You still have that long, tall spine. Take a couple breaths here. I love how in class that I've taken, I've heard the teachers mention that palms down is great for grounding and palms up is for receiving. So I invite you to pick whichever position you'd like. I'm going to do up today. And if you'd like to close your eyes, I invite you to do that, or maybe your gaze softens. And just begin to notice your breath. Maybe noticing if there's any tension in the body that can be released on your exhale. What about your jaw, your forehead, shoulders? Even releasing your hands onto your legs, your feet to the floor, your bottom to the chair, your back to the chair, just letting go. This is when we receive our practice. can enjoy that scrumptious feeling of having just moved our body, done some really good breathing. Maybe the mind's a little calmer, or maybe it's running a little faster. Wherever you are today is perfect. And coming back to that intention, maybe being curious about it. Do you feel and think the same way about it that you did at the beginning of class? What now? Just a few more breaths. And when you're ready, you can begin to make any movement that feels nice to you. If you want to flutter your eyes open, if they were closed, maybe take a nice stretch. Maybe wiggle your body. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this class. And for my recorded classes, I've decided not to have music playing from my end because ideally you're taking this class again and again, and I want you to be able to change the music up to whatever you want. So feel free to play whatever you want in the background. Just make sure to have the level where you can still hear my cues. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you soon.